I was trying to get here. I took everything. I think that's the part that young people don't get. Like, I talked to a lot of young acts today. I ain't doing that. That didn't pay enough. Did you hear what you said? You said it don't pay enough. But it pays. If you don't take the gig, you're going to get zero. Well, no. I want this, and they only pay. I said, how much did you want? I wanted $5,000 for the night. How much they offer? $3,500. Yo, dog, what else do you have that you can get somebody to give you $3,500 for the night? Go tell your jokes. Nah, man, they got to pay me what I want. But see, now you're not honing your craft and you're not making money. He said, would you have took it for $3,500? I said, yeah. He said, would you take it for $3,500 now? I said, no. But why you won't take it now, but you want me to take it? You don't have what I have. Well, what are we talking about? Just inch by inch, anything's a cinch. You got to take steps, man. It's hard to get young people to understand that. I want what you got now. You can't have what I got now. Yeah, I tell my kids all the time, me and my kids, we have this discussion. It take a long time to make a lot of money. If you think you can just go make a lot of money real fast, you're going to be constantly disappointed. It take a long time to make money. I've been in this business since I was 27 years old. I'm 64. Man, come on. Look at what your life, you looking at now. You missed the 3 years I was living in a car. You didn't see that. You missed when I lost everything I ever owned twice. You missed the 2 divorces. You missed me flunking out of school. You missed all that. You see this now. This ain't how it work now. Yeah, oh, it look easy. Yeah, I make it look easy. This is hard. Come out here. Come turn this corner. I'm going to invite any one of y'all to come up here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Family Feud. Here's Ricky. And Ricky, walk your ass around this corner and just do what I do. It's really hard. Like, what do you do for a living?
I work for a software startup.
Software startup. See, if I went to her job, I'm a failure. What do I know about software? No, what do you do, sir?
Physician.
A physician? Oh, you're dead. He's a physician. He went to school. He got to go to regular school. Then he got to go to another school. Then he got to get certified, go to another school. That's not me. I can want to be a doctor all I want, but it ain't me. It's just easy, man. You got to fit in. You got to do the gift God gave you. You're a physician. You're gifted. That's a God-given gift. Everybody can't go be a doctor.
All right, family.
It's not for you.
Clear it up.
Somebody said, Steve, you ought to be a minister. What? I love the Lord. I really do. God is my friend. He's the whole reason I'm here. If you're waiting on the right time to make your move, you'll never make it. It ain't ever, the ducks will never line up in a row. You know why? Because God ain't set it up that way. Because for you to take your leap of faith, God requires an exchange between you and him. It's called faith. Tired of trying to figure it out. I've been asking God what it was, told him what I wanted to do, had no idea how to get on TV. Sometimes the leap of faith isn't a leap. Sometimes it's a push. Sometimes God kick you off the cliff. And you just got to go after that. I went to an amateur night October 8th, 1985, walked in the comedy club for the first time on a dare. A girl named Gladys Jacob dared me to go to the comedy club. She said, Steve, you're the funniest person I've met in my life. I was actually writing jokes for a comedian today named A.J. Jamal. I wrote jokes for A.J. Jamal. He does cruise ships now. He would pay me $10 a joke. I didn't know what he was doing with them. He would just come to me, go, Steve, what you think about this? I said, change that. The girl came to me one time and said, you the one writing these jokes for A.J. Jamal? I said, yeah. She said, why don't you do them yourself? I said, what you talking about doing yourself? She said, why don't you go to the comedy club and do them? I said, what is a comedy club? I never heard of a comedy club. I was 27. Never heard of a comedy. She said, I'm going to come pick you up next Tuesday. That Tuesday she picked me up was October 8th, 1985. She took me to the comedy club. I signed up. I went up last. They had a clap off. I won amateur night. They paid me $50. I went to work the next day, October 9th, quit my job. That was it. That was it. I have done nothing since October 9th, 1985, but tell jokes. Nothing. I lost everything with that decision. Lost my family. My ex-wife told me, she said, if you go out on that road, don't you ever come back. I went out on the road, came back, house was boarded up. Didn't see my kids for a year and a half. My mother-in-law wouldn't tell me where they were. Went back out on the road, tried to get me some money to send to her mother-in-law. Kept sending money back, didn't have enough because I was only making like $150, $200 a week. So by the time I sent them $150, I kept $50. Ended up homeless, lived in the car for 3 years, kept touring around the South telling jokes. Every now and then I'd go home, borrow $100 from my old man. I was hurting, man. I just kept the faith, just kept going. My mother told me one time, she said, boy, why don't you come home? You struggling too hard out there. I said, well, Mama, if I quit, I ain't gonna never know. I'm gonna have to stay with it. She said, where you live, boy? I said, I got friends out there. I couldn't tell my mother I was homeless. It would broke her heart. So I just stayed out there. Kept going, kept going. Thought about giving up a whole bunch of times. But God, man, he got a way of coming through. And he just came through. And next, I got a phone call one time, asked me to do Showtime at the Apollo. And all of a sudden, my dream to be on TV was coming true. That's a long story. I can't tell it to you, but I ended up going to the Apollo, and they loved me. And left, and they called me back, and Mark Curry, who was on Hanging with Mr. Cooper, was the host of Amateur Night. He decided he was going to take another weekend off. They called me up there and asked me to do one night for Mark Curry. Boy, damn it, I practiced. I practiced my ass off. I went in there, and I was so funny that one night. And what I did was they had a warm-up act, so every time they went to commercial break, the warm-up act went out there. But I was so afraid of losing the gig, I stayed out there, and I did the warm-ups. Then I did the TV show. I did all the warm-ups. They loved me, and that was it. Next thing you know, I got a phone call, said, we'd like for you to become the permanent host of Amateur Night. And that was 1991. And next thing you know, I wasn't homeless no more. Got me a check, got me an apartment. Woo! Put a waterbed on layaway. Laid away a waterbed, $800. Had that layaway for 9 months. Just 9 months to lay away an $800 waterbed. My rent was $185 in Texas. If it was every day you was late, it was a $5 fee. Not one day did I have my $185 on the day I was supposed to have, because I was still hustling. I pay late fees every time, and that's the first house I ever got. First apartment was $185. Then I started making a little money, and I got me an apartment, cost $215 a month. Woo, you couldn't say to me then. $215, that was high-ass living. Today, somebody asked me one time, they said, Steve, why do you spend so much money on cars? Because I like cars and watches.
All right, everyone,
Somebody asked me, they said, why you
please.
spend so much money on cars?
Families now.
I said, because I was homeless one time. I lived in a car. He said, but why you spend so much money on cars? I said, because if these ever go bad again, that's the I'm living in right there. I'm living in a Rolls Royce. True story, but it's just, look, man, sometimes if you're waiting on the right time to make your move, you'll never make it. It ain't ever, the ducks will never line up in a row. You know why? Because God ain't set it up that way. Because for you to take your leap of faith, God requires an exchange between you and him. It's called faith. If he lined it all up for you, you wouldn't need faith. He wants to see if you really believe in him. So he requires you to make a choice to believe. So if you want to be whatever you want to be, you're going to have to take a chance. You got to go for it. It ain't finna be right. That wasn't the perfect time for me to quit my job and go do comedy, but it worked out. God gonna work it out for you, man. Quit trying to figure out the how-to. The how-to is none of your business. When you have a massive goal, something that's big, you must first make it something that not reaching it is unacceptable. Me not being who God made me to be, me not living my dream was unacceptable for me. Now, when you get faced with a challenge like living in your car for 3 years, what happened was I had a dream that was so big, my dreams were bigger than all my problems. You know what I'm saying? See, if your dreams aren't really big enough and your problems are bigger than your dreams, then your problems will be bigger than your dreams. But if your dreams are so big, I had no problem that I was not willing to endure to get to my dream. Now, the key, you said it though, was step by step. Remember this saying, inch by inch, anything's a cinch. Inch by inch. See, so you got to set incremental goals along the way. On your way to, let's say you want to be a millionaire, but let's say you only make $5,000 a year right now, but you want to be a millionaire. Then you have got to take whatever you did to make $5,000 and duplicate it so you can make 10. But when you make 10, that should be a minor celebration. Then when you make 20, that should be another minor celebration. Don't stay frustrated because you haven't reached the million, because it takes a long time to make $1 million. But let's just say you're making $250,000. There's another celebration you should have. So you have to enjoy the journey because the journey is not going to change. If you wait until you reach your goal to celebrate, it's mentally debilitating. So you have to have monumental steps along the way and just make inch by inch anything's a cinch. Set very doable goals as you're trying to reach the impossible thing. Me being a TV star from where I was an impossible thing. And everybody told me that. Every single body I knew told me, that's impossible. A television star. You go work with your father and your brothers for construction. So when I was in high school, I worked construction with my father. I hated it. I was going to, I'm digging holes and carrying buckets of tar. I don't want to do this. It's good money right here. I kept looking on TV, man. You know, first time I saw a black person on TV in the United States, when he came on TV, all the black people went inside to watch this black man on TV because no black man had ever been on TV in America and spoke, ever. Your attitude determines your altitude. A lot of your mornings start off bad because you've taken claim that you're not a morning person. Why would you not be a morning person when the whole goal is to wake up every morning? That's your goal, is to wake up every morning. You got to be a morning person. Here's what happened. I was selling Amway. I got into Amway. Amway taught me a lot about positive attitudes. First self-help books I read. And this guy was a sponsor of mine. He lived in Rochester, New York. His name was John Walker. And I was laid off, man. Got laid off from Ford Motor Company. I'm 22 years old. And I'm sleeping. And he would call every morning. And I'd pick up the phone. Hello? Steve, how you doing? John Walker, man. How's you doing? Having a great day today, man. Great to be alive. What are you doing? I said, man, I'm asleep. He just hang up. Next morning. Hello, 5:30, 6 o'clock. Hello? Steve, John Walker, man. How you doing? Hope you have a great day, man. Love talking to you. You okay? Yeah, John. Click, he hang up. Next morning, 6 o'clock. Hello. Steve, John Walker, man. I said, what the is wrong with this dude? I said, man, what the just calling on you, man, making sure you have a great day, man. I love you, man. Click, he hung up. Every day for 3 weeks in a row, he did the same thing. You know how I answered the phone? Every day, the same day, I answered the phone the exact same way. Hello? Finally, after about 3 weeks, the phone rang. I said, hello? He said, Steve, why do you answer your phone like that? I said, what, man? I'm asleep. He said, no, man. You got to be in the life-changing business. People have got to look at you like a light. Something should be in you that shows other people that there's hope. He said, you don't know this about yourself, but you're going to be that person one day. And you got to start preparing for what you want to be. I said, man, I'm not a morning person. He said, yes, you are. He said, because you're going to wake up every day for a long time. He said, man, don't ever do that, man. At least let God know you're glad you're alive if you don't let nobody else. And he hung the phone up. Man, do you know I couldn't even go back to sleep. So the next morning, about 4:30, I done got up. I'm sitting on the edge of my bed. You better not call this phone right here. Hello? Steve, hey, John, this is Steve Harvey, man. I'm up, I'm having a great day, man. He said, that's what I'm talking about, hung up. The next morning, he called right back, 5 o'clock. Hello, is this John Walker? It sure is. This is Steve Harvey, man. Boom. And I've been that way ever since. Little did I know that in the year 1995, somebody would offer me $2 million to do a morning show in Chicago. I started waking up one city, 107.5 WGCI in Chicago. Next thing I knew, I had a radio show, #1 show in Los Angeles, 92.3 The Beat. I started doing that show. Then in 2005, I got the biggest syndicated adult contemporary morning show on planet Earth, the Steve Harvey Morning Show. I'm in 112 cities. I wake up 9 million people who listen to my morning show in 112 cities. Yeah. That man prepared me. He said, you don't know it, but you're going to be a light one day, and people are going to look to you for that light. At 22 years old, completely changed my life. And ever since then, I've been a morning person. You dig? I wake up every morning the same way. I can't wait to wake. Me and my wife get up. Me and Margie wake up every morning at the latest 6. We're sleeping late till 6. Usually it's 5:30. We have coffee because nobody's up. And me and my wife sit in front of fireplaces. We sip coffee. We go out by the pool. We drink coffee because we set our day up. Because we know about 7:30, 8 o'clock, all hell finna break loose. And when the rest of the world wake up, we already up having a good time. The first year was just 3 of us. It was just me, Bernie Mac, and Sid the Entertainer. I met Sid in 1989 at a comedy club. We became friends instantly. I met Bernie in Chicago probably in 91. And, we just always stayed in touch. Well, we had, after Def Jam and all of that, we started doing theaters. I could do 5,000 seat theater. Bernie was doing 5. Sid was doing 5, 6,000 seaters, and we was selling out. So this young promoter came to us and said, I have an idea to put all of you together and go do basketball arenas. And we went, basketball arenas? He said, yeah, man, I think all of y'all could sell like 18,000 tickets. And we went, in one night? No, man, this can't do it. And then he said, I got a sponsor, and we're gonna pay you some money. And I said, well, how much? And back then, that was a lot of money now, a couple hundred, 200,000 a show. And this was back in 90, 96, man. And I said, I'm in. And I didn't know, I really didn't believe it was gonna work. And so me, Bernie, and Sid, we got together, we said, well, look, man, we'll make a, couple meal and get on out, leave this guy alone. We had no idea what was about to happen. There was no social media back then. There was nothing. White media would not write about us at all. For 3 years, we never got a single article about us. We were the highest grossing comedy tour in the history of comedy. We were the #1 ticket selling tour outside of the Rolling Stones in all of America. And we just started working, and next thing you know, we were selling out every single night, man. We ended up the first year, man, we did like $58 million. And so after that, you didn't have to talk to us no more, because we had, and it was sort of funny, man, because, you know, I had always asked God that I wanted to be one of the premier stand-ups in the country, man, and so I thought that was the apex of my career. I thought I had made it. In '97, I was content. I said, man, thank you, God, I did it. I'm cool, I don't know where I'm going from here. But little did I know, the plan God actually had for me, where he was really gonna take me, the Kings of Comedy was just a blimp on the screen. But it's still today one of probably the most epic comedy tour ever formed. The best stand-up in the world right now is Dave Chappelle. He's the best stand-up in the world right now because he has no sponsors attached to him. He can say anything. He don't give a how you feel. He write jokes about that will get my ass put off TV today. That was funny to me. If you want to really laugh hard, go home and watch Dave Chappelle's last 2 specials. Now, if you're a very sensitive person and you're politically correct, don't watch this. But if you don't really give a damn, like me, it's the funniest you've ever seen.